We have our chair with us, Shri Tushar Girinath IAS. I'd request all other esteemed panelists to please be present at stage A, including Mr. J.B. Ravinder, Dr. Ruby Makhija, Engineer Pradeep Khandelwal, Mr. Dheeraj Joshi, Mr. Kulwant Singh, Mr. Ritesh Kotri, and Ms. Monica Behl. Thank you. Thanks.
What about the others? Mr. Kulwant Singh is not there? Where is he? He is sitting over there. You be now. Waiting. Delay क्यों कर रहे हो? NMCT का director? I think you should start, sir. Okay. You should start because so many speakers are there. Your opening remarks are one by one. Each one about 5
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Not more than 5 minutes.
Okay.
Strictly.
Yeah, we'll get started.
You
So I
start, sir.
welcome all the delegates on the dais and the members who are present here to listen to our experts here. Thank you very much for making me the chair this session. Uh, Now our cities are facing two major challenges. One is already addressed in the previous session, that is wastewater. Another is the solid waste management. Third is of course our air pollution. There are many constituents to that. So far as solid waste management is concerned, we had come through a long curve of learning, and now the 2026 rules have been brought in, and from the 1st April they will be kicked in. So we should all be ready, and the learning of so many last one decade has been put in that new policy and new rules. I hope that we do a better job now. We can make out that the urbanization in India is at such a high scale that within 2047 we will be saturating our population, and around 55% or so would be the rate of urban population to the total population. The southern states may be doing much better, and they will be reaching around 70 plus. You can think so many people are coming from the rural area to the cities, so they will be creating that much more waste. Right now we have asked them to, in their rural area to have a pit and compost in a decentralized manner. Now that much more strain will come onto the urban sector. You have to be ready, your tier 2, tier 3, all sorts of cities, small urban cities, and what you call local centers also should be ready for this challenge. Now, from segregation to processing, at each stage we are having large number of challenges, and as we move to the mega cities, the land is a very important issue. It becomes so much more important. We are still continuing with our legacy waste because we are not in a position to process properly. The legacy waste, we are creating the legacy dump sites, and now we are spending money to reclaim those lands. More and more the lands will be coming under great pressures, and how the polluter pays, that principle has to be built in every aspect, and how to do that, that is the challenge. How do we measure the each individual level waste generation, and how to see that they pay properly. The industrial waste will create much more problem. Right now that is a blind spot. We say it is a bulk waste generator, leave it to them, they are not getting properly monitored. Pollution control boards are hardly equipped with their staff. So these are the challenges. Let us listen to our experts. I should not take more time. My time is already over now. So I welcome all the members, and with this broader perspective of urbanization, movement of the people and their behavior, consumer behavior also changes as they move from the rural to urban side. So the waste is going to be produced in a more larger quantities, and maybe the recycling thing, it will become a costlier item in the whole economics. So how the economics works out in the future few years would be very, very important. So I would now request.
Speakers are there, sir.
So we will now start.
5 minutes to each.
Yeah, now we'll start with the panelist, and we will end with our co-chair summing up the whole thing. So I would request Dr. Ruby Makhija, who is the founder and director of Why Waste Wednesday Foundation. You can give your remarks. You want to make a presentation, that is fine.
I'll just run through some of the points in the presentation, though the time is limited. May I request for the presentation to be put up?
You can go there.
I think. All right. So I'll just start by saying that I am an ophthalmologist qualified who took a switch into the waste management sector about 9 years back. What compelled me was because I belong to the health sector and I could see that the impact of waste and sanitation on health industry. Apart from that, I was also nominated as the secretary for one of the residential welfare association. And that was unfortunately, the year when solid waste management guidelines 2016 were in place. And we had back-to-back meeting, and we were, I don't know, for some odd reason, I really thought it was my calling, and I had a bigger platform than an individual platform to deliver, and that is where our model of zero waste colonies in Navjeevan Vihar came up. We all know, I will not take much time with the things which you already know. So there's nothing called zero waste, it is only zero waste to landfill. How you can reduce, reuse, recycle, repair, recover, it's all about that. That is what the colony did. We have now maintained for the last 7.5 years, 100%, when I say 100%, not even a single exception, source segregation in 3 categories. Now we'll work on 4th categories as well. 100% wet waste composting maintained only by the RWA with support from MCD. We've done it over these 7.5 years, initially in the pit, and now we've moved on to smell-free composting solutions. Dhalao or the community bin closed and converted into a beautiful RRR center. All the dry waste is further sorted and sent to 6 categories, various recyclers who come to the colony and pick it up. This is the RRR center. It used to be a community dhalao, which we've beautifully transformed this space. We all are bulk waste generators as RWAs also. No need to explain that. The only message which I have here is, and the biggest message, that it is doable. It is doable at an individual level, it is doable at a colony level, hospital level, organization level, school, universities, spiritual organizations. We worked now with my NGO working in this sector for the last over 4 years. We've worked across stakeholder groups, now coming on to city level interventions in 2 cities in Haryana, Hisar. Also in the last 2.5 months, we have been able to achieve over 50% source segregation citywide in real spirit. So as I say, it is doable. How it is doable? We didn't start with a big budget. We started with a belief that people are not unwilling. They're only uninformed and uninvolved. So these things are some things which are my lessons. I see for us is not a checkbox, taking a banner and taking 4 or 5 pictures. It's a constant conversation for us. Engagement has to be linked with ownership, right balance of incentive and disincentive, and waste management is not about machines, models and mandates. It's about behavior, belief and belonging. That belonging has to be there, whether it is a colony level, it is a city level, organization level, that this is my space and I need to clean it up. How we build that ownership is a game changer. Awareness to action, collaboration, community building, and recognition in small possible ways, engaging children, senior citizen, taking the help of social media. We used everything that it could take to build a good zero waste to landfill model. And again, I would say it is doable. Bringing in incentives for house helps, sanitary napkin program, supporting 185 Women, again, was a very important intervention. This is the impact. I mean, I can't sum up all of that impact of 9 years here, but a small colony, of 280 households, this is the impact. 7.5 lakh kgs of waste diverted from landfills. How we help, we guide, we handhold, we support every small action. If an individual is also wanting to do it, we ensure that individual is also supported. We have 2 vehicles now under TWE, PL, CSR, and every individual efforts of separating recyclables, we ensure that we pick it up right from their doorstep in Delhi NCR, and we ensure that it reaches the recyclers. This is the vehicle. Throughout the day, morning to night, this is running in Delhi to collect. I must thank the CSR partners and MCD for this. Some of other initiatives, the R Center runs 24/7. That's a little change that we did. It runs 24/7, accepting material, whether you want to drop it in the day or the night, stuff for reuse or recycling. Recycle Mela, where we reach out to you all, organizations, colonies, schools, colleges, and collect your recyclables. Vikalp is a deposit refund system for cloth bags. We have, with support from MCD, about 1,000 stores from where you could pick up a cloth bag against 20 rupees deposit. Every bag carries a QR code, return it, and take a full refund. With 2 lakh bags in circulation now. Student versus plastic, 2,600 institutes engaged with us in fight against plastic. Bartan Bank, free of cost. I could go on forever and ever, but the fact is, let us not give up on segregation. That is the foundation for everything. And even before we segregate, let's focus on reduce. I'll just end it there. Thank you so very much.
Much. Now I will ask Pradeep Khandelwal ji, who is from Municipal Corporation of Delhi.
So, good morning to all. I'm a retired chief engineer from Municipal Corporation Delhi and worked in solid waste management for over 20 years. So, everybody says that municipal solid waste is a very easy, urban local bodies are not doing any work to make this effective management. Whereas when you will see my presentation, you will say how much efforts we are putting to collect, transport and processing the municipal solid waste. I will keep my presentation only for the legacy waste and the processing of the municipal solid waste, 2 parts. Other I will skip. As you all know that waste is generated and all these earlier rules came. First rule came in 2000. Before that there was no rule. People used to throw their garbage here and there in the cities. Garbage are thrown just outskirts of the cities. That is why legacy waste problem has come up. The characterization of the waste, many cities have different type of characterization. In general, we can say we get 50% of the biodegradable waste and less 50% and balance 50% is recyclable or combustible or inert waste. This is the standard hierarchy of the solid waste management. First reduce, reuse, then recycle, then if not possible then processing, if not possible then recovery, then the last option will be the landfilling. This is a flow chart for making the complete integrated solid waste management. I am not going through it. In waste to energies technologies, there are 2 types of waste to energies. For biodegradable waste, we do biomethanization, and for other waste, we do waste to energies. In the waste to energies, there are 3 processes. One is incineration, second is pyrolysis, third is gasification. But only incineration, I will concentrate only on incineration because that is only the effective technology available in India. This is a anaerobic digestion, biomethanization process flow. This is a composting. Now, first I will explain the legacy waste. As you know that legacy waste has been the waste which is older than 5 years. And earlier when I saw that Delhi is an old city and having a lot of garbage there, so on the outskirts of the city, we have deposited all the waste. And the 3 ISOs has become for Delhi. The Gazipur, on the north side Balaswa, on the south side Lokhla. So in 2009 itself, we have planned how to remediate, how to deal with this, because we do not have the other lands for disposal of the garbage. So we planned how to remediate it. And on the process, on the solution of the MCD, that has come in the rules also, the remediation of the legacy waste. And the legacy waste, what we did is, we excavate, we dry, we segregate, and from excavate, drying and segregating through trommels, we get 4 types of materials. One is soil-like materials, another is construction demolition waste, third is recyclable waste. So all these waste can be reused or recycled. So the soil-like material can be used for filling purposes, horticulture purposes, combustible can be used for incineration and as a fuel, and recyclable can be used as a recyclable. So this is all legacy waste. We can, whatever legacy waste, as Chair has already told, is an issue for the entire country. So we have started thinking for this in 2009 and implemented in 2019. And Delhi has already biomined over 10 to 12 million tons. We have a 29 million tons of legacy waste. Already 10 million tons we have already this thing. In the thermal processes for waste to energies, we will concentrate only on incineration basis. So for the waste to energies, we should have the pre-processing section of the waste to energy plant and power plant section. And third is environment management, the flue gas management system. So this is the pre-processing flow. Whatever MSW we receive in a pit, and from the pit we do 7-step pre-processing. This thing, segregation, then threading, then magnetic separator, screening, and air density, use air for drying the waste, and then we can get the fuel-like material, we call it RDF.
Khandelwal ji, can we focus here? Can we focus on the challenges which you have seen in your career and how to address them?
Just come. For legacy waste, we do not have any challenges. In the legacy waste, only the challenges are the disposal of the processed material. Like in Delhi, we do not have the low-lying areas or the other areas for filling of these in soil-like material. And for RDF-like material, we do not have any cement plant around Delhi. All the cement plant is around 400 to 500 kilometers from Delhi. So we have some challenges in legacy waste management of the disposal of the inert water, disposal of the material only. And in the pre-processing, these are the different views of the pre-processing. The air dryers and air density separators.
Running efficiently, what efficiency?
I'm coming to for Delhi section, just first technology, then Delhi section only. So then whatever leachate, we put the fresh waste 4-5 days in a MSW bed that generate the leachate, and we have a leachate treatment plant for this liquid type material, treat the liquid type material. This is a process below, and this is a power plant below. Whatever combustible material, we get it from the municipal solid waste. We fed in the boiler, then to turbine, and then switch out, and whatever the energy is generated is used for internal consumption or export to the grid. And whatever material is required, that is, I'm not going to this thing. This is a typical section of the power plant and turbine. Now, the most important thing in the waste to energies is the environment management system. What is that? We have to control the odor in the plant. So we are putting negative pressures and herbal culture. We are controlling noise by putting facility green belt all along the facility. Leachate treatment I have already explained. Flue gas system. We have a 3 type of flue gas treatment. One is NOx is treated by ammonia fed. The other is activated carbon, and particulate matter is taken out by bag filters and other things. So this is the flow chart for flue gas treatment system. Lime is injected, activated carbon is injected, and then bag filters for the particulate matter, and then the gas is emitted through a 60-meter high chimney. This is a photograph of the flue gas treatment system. And in the waste to energies, we get either bottom ash or the fly ash.
Khandelwal ji, because of want of time.
Yeah, but only 5 minutes.
No, we can't give you 5 minutes. So total 5 minutes have to be given, sir.
3 minutes now. Now, these are the...
You completed 1 minute.
Yeah, these are the challenges. Segregation is the challenges, financial viability, domestic manufacturing, public resistance, and market demand. These are the major challenges in the waste, solid waste management. In Delhi, we have 4 waste to energy plants, and all the first plant has come up in 2012, and last plant has come up in 2023. We have processed over 20 million tons, 200,000 metric tons of municipal solid waste in all the 4 plants, and we have generated 500 million units of energy.
Very good.
So you can imagine how much environment we have saved by using this energy.
Yes.
So presently we have a 12,500 capacity of the generation, and 7,000 capacity we already have, and we have proposed.
So
These are the 4 plants in Delhi. One is on the south, 2 on the south, 1 in east, and another is in the north. So all these are on PPP models, and 20 to 25 years concession period. These are the plant photos. How much waste they have consumed.
how much you are charging per ton? Tipping fee?
We are not
How much you are giving to this PPP fellow?
We are not paying any tipping fee. We are not doing anything. Only in the 3 plants, it is only power generation, PPP totally.
You have to get the waste to at the doorstep.
That's all.
Okay,
That is
thank
the
you very
land
much.
and doorstep. That
Thank
is the
you.
only thing.
Thank you very much. We close the talk of Khandelwal ji. Others who are interested in Delhi's experiment, they can meet him after this during the lunch and after that.
And these are the implementation barriers.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
We will
Thank
do
you.
that.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
Dheeraj Joshi ji, who is the Director Urban and NMCG. Dheeraj Joshi ji. Yes, we can make.
Good afternoon to the chair and co-chair of the session. I'm Dheeraj Joshi. I'm serving as the Director Urban in National Mission for Clean Ganga. Basically, I will be talking about some aspects touching what NMCG is doing related to circular economy, and some aspects related to resource recovery in my presentation. And these are the table of contents. Basically, the circular economy, if we say, I will be talking about the water circularity. As we say, like Jal Chakra is the root and sustainable base of our Jeevan Chakra. So delving into the topics, I will be briefly touching about the technological circularity, what NMCG is doing, the circularity related to regulations, community circularity, policy planning related aspects in circularity, the infrastructure related circularity that we are promoting, financial circularity, and some case studies related to the circularity that we have imbibed upon. And this is the basic pillars, 5 pillars of NMCG. The Aviral Ganga, Nirmal Ganga, Earth Ganga, Jan Ganga, and Gyan Ganga. And Nirmal Ganga, as we all know, we are focusing on the treatment of the pollution. Aviral Ganga, we are focusing on ecology and flow of the water. Earth Ganga is the latest addition to our kitty after the clarion call by the Honorable PM, in which we are basically trying to bridge the river and economy, the people and the economy connect the people who are in the river basin. And Jan Ganga, it's the people participation and people connect for river-centric development aspects. And Gyan Ganga, promoting the research and development in river-related researches. So NMCG circular economy pathways, as I earlier talked about, the technological circularity, the interventions that we have taken, like development of a very unique river rejuvenation systems, which is a conglomeration of various portals called the Prayag, in which we have focused on infrastructure monitoring and focuses related to monitoring of the how the infrastructure is functioning, and also other measures that like what is the water quality and what is the flow there. And then we have also done measures related to expansion of the sewage treatment capacity, the innovative treatment technologies that we have adopted, and also we have come up with a national level framework on safe reuse of treated water. So basically the regulatory circularity that I was talking about earlier, the national level, the national framework on safe reuse of treated water, and then recently today the news has broken that the state of Uttarakhand has also adopted a state level policy based on the national level framework given by NMCG, enabling states to design, adapt and implement state specific SRTW policies. And the last one is city level action plans, in which NMCG is supporting the cities of Prayagraj, Varanasi and Agra in development of the city action plans. And similarly, on the basis of these regulations, we are focusing on how to have sludge and septage resource recovery. Still, there is a long road ahead in how to have sludge resource recovery. And we have conducted R&D studies in collaboration with IIT Roorkee and other partner institutes. And I must admit that there is a long road ahead in the adoption of sludge resource recovery. And reducing waste leakage to the rivers through circular sewerage management systems. Recently, last year, the Mahakumbh Mela that was organized in Prayagraj, Mahakumbh deployed thousands of toilets and the dustbins. Effectively, they prevented waste from entering rivers. These are the kind of interventions that we look about. And then construction waste recycling, material recovery and composting. And the community-based circularity that I was talking about earlier is empowering local communities so that they prevent the pollution hotspots in the river. Like if we go about the traditional agricultural conventional farming practices, the generally what we see, the fertilizer, generally the chemicals, they run off to the river, creating a kind of a pollution hotspots. So what in NMCG we are focusing on and advocating the natural farming in the Ganga basin. And also what we see, the circularity in the natural farming process, there are certain issues that we have also seen, like there are issues in yield. In the initial years there is a drop in yield, but what farmers can also see that this can be offsetted by the premiums they can get on the natural farming products. And then the financing circularity that NMCG is promoting is through this innovative model like HAM, hybrid annuity model, the financial reforms with TSA, the Clean Ganga Fund initiatives, and then certain case studies I was to talk about, like we have also focused on energy positive wastewater management through like Dinapur STPs, and then recently we have also focused on solar powered STPs, in which most of the energy that is required in the O&M aspects is met through the solar powered, the energy that we get from the solar plants. And industrial wastewater reuse, ecological sensitive treatments. And these are certain of future pathways that we have thought of, like mandating city level reuse targets of around 20 to 30% in the DPRs. And urban river management plans, we are actually developing 60 urban river management plan in the Ganga basin cities in partnership with World Bank, and 25 are slated to be finished by this December end. And advancing technologies, and 2047 vision for Ganga basin is achievement of fully circular water economy with AI enabled digital twins. We have also established in partnership with we are also focusing on co-creation and co-learning with our international partners, and with IIT BHU in partnership with Denmark, we have established a smart lab on clean rivers, which is also promoting these circularity principles. And recently with Dutch side, we have also established a Center of Excellence on Water at IIT Delhi. Thank you very much.
Lot of learning to be taken from him, because they have really done wonderful work in a very short span. Now we request Shri Kulwant Singh ji from 3R Waste Foundation. Sir. Request you to complete it within 5-6 minutes.
Thank you so much. Last year in March 2025, Government of India, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs had organized a very big conference in Jaipur. And this conference really focused on what they said, 3R and circular economy, exactly the theme of this particular session. So I have just put some certain thoughts based on that. A few facts which I like to state right at the beginning, that world of course is aiming at the target of net zero submissions by 2030. But at the same time, even if this target is met under the Paris Agreement, costs to the global economy relating to climate change, they are going to be extremely high, something like $54 trillion by 2100. Further, by 2050, global material use may increase basically between 170 and 184 billion tons in a very big way. Similarly, if the business as usual continues, global plastic waste is, it will be increasing in multiple numbers, basically reaching around 1.2 billion tons by 2060. And in India also, the multiple plastic waste is increasing in a very big way. The policy and scientific community, they have realized the need to become net zero, zero waste, and also nature positive in order to enhance the resilience of countries and societies by halting and reversing nature and biodiversity loss. And circular economy does hold the promise for systemic transformation of our society, as it fundamentally aims to design out waste and pollution, keep products and materials for extended use, and regenerate and restore natural ecosystems. The fundamental principle of the circular economy is to prevent waste and pollution, and it is imperative to prevent or minimize pollution by increasing resource efficiency and circularity along value chain. We should be aiming at promoting circular economy, enhancing resource efficiency, integration of 3R and circular economy principles, and addressing the triple planetary crisis. There is a crisis in the world globally which we have to really handle. There is a crisis of climate change, there is a crisis of nature and biodiversity loss, and there is a crisis in terms of growing pollution. So we have to really address that. So we have to align our policies with global frameworks and agreements, and similarly, we have to boost economic resilience by encouraging resource recovery, recycling, and waste management services. For that, as a matter of fact, it's not only the governments, we have to aim at public-private partnerships, as far as possible. And above all, there has been quite an emphasis in one of the presentation on the behavioral change and consumer awareness by integrating circular economy principles into education and public awareness campaigns. It matters. Why it matters? Because there is a rapid urbanization, there is a rising waste and wastewater, climate change, public health and resource scarcity. They are all linked elements. So waste is a resource stream. Energy, compost, materials, they are all important things that we have to really, produce out of the waste itself. Waste is not just waste. Waste is actually wealth, as we call it. India's policy shift has been there significantly during the last about 10, 15 years. So we have moved from what we call cleanliness. The focus is changing from cleanliness to circular economy. So Swachh Bharat mission has been a great achievement. I would say first phase. We are in the second phase of that. We did have solid waste management rules 2016. There's a greater awareness so far as state governments and local governments are concerned, but much more still needs to be done. If I may say, we have plastic waste management rules, e-waste rules, construction and demolition waste management rules, biomedical waste management rules. Implementation is rather tardy. We have to really focus on them. In the second phase of Swachh Bharat mission, the focus is now on what we call the remediation of the dump sites and the focus on circular economy. I think there was a wonderful presentation on the legacy waste, so far as Delhi is concerned. There is also a greater involvement of the private sector in terms of producer's responsibility, what we call EPR, and the rules are now very clear, and private sector is playing a significant and very important role. As far as sanitation is concerned, I would only like to say, well, we have done, I would say, wonders in terms of, I would say, constructing 12 crore, 120 million toilets. By so doing, we have reduced the open defecation. And we are now in a stage of what we call ODF plus transitions. Many villages have achieved ODF
Sir,
status.
we have 2 minutes.
I'll just finish in 2 minutes.
You come to your foundations learning, sir, and what you can contribute to.
Right. Okay. So I'll just touch upon just 1 or 2 points basically. Fecal sludge management is emerging in a big way. There was a presentation in the previous session of how we can produce, use fecal sludge for producing even electricity in a very big way, And there's a focus shifting from excess to, wastewater treatment. Solid waste also, basically, there are many steps that really need to be taken. We work in the waste management sector in several states of India, and what we feel is essentially that informal sector, which recovers up to 20% of the recyclables, they have to be really integrated into the entire system, where we are really, taking time or perhaps really ignoring that. Waste streams are expanding, no doubt, but at the same time, wastewater reuse is emerging as a key resource, if I may say so. Wastewater is now being used in significant manner. If I say progress since 2014, I would say we have seen a growth of compost plants, material recovery facilities, waste to energy. They have already indicated in city of Delhi, we have 4 waste to energy plants working in a very big way, and fecal sludge treatment is also happening. Circular economy lens is very, very important. I am again saying now there is a focus. The language itself is changing. The narrative has completely changed. And we are focusing basically because circular economy provides a lot of opportunities in terms of compost markets, recyclable construction materials, wastewater reuse, and secondary raw materials. I'll just touch upon that, there are some, I just highlight 3 things, basically some case studies. Indore, which has been earning the distinction of the best city, of cleanest city for the last 7-8 years. It's mainly because they have achieved that, status, mainly because as a city, they have focused on 100% door-to-door collection and segregation. And they have got bio-CNG plants, material recovery centers are working exceedingly well, and there is a strong citizen engagement. Participation of the people is very important. You can't keep the city clean unless people help them. It's very, very important. And if I say Surat, they are doing wonderful work in what we call construction and demolition waste. As a country, Netherlands is the one which is using construction and demolition waste for reconstructing, for new constructions, they are using the old materials.
Thank
we
you,
have
sir.
to really learn.
Thank
I'll
you,
just
sir.
take one more
Kulwant
minute,
Singh.
sir. Allow me 1 minute. That's all. And Bangalore, for example, waste to energy, they are segregating waste sent to waste to energy facility, generating electricity, reduction in landfill dependence is there, and also main lesson that is to be learned from these case studies is there is an application of technology, and that technology application would not be possible until and unless there is a consumer citizen participation and in segregation of the materials. I think I'll close at that, and perhaps I think if there will be any opportunity for later on for questions, I'll be happy doing it.
Thank you very
so
much. Thank you very much. Actually, Kalpit Ashrar from Made in Mumbai is also joined as one of the panelists. I welcome him. We will, no, sir, just wait. Thank you. We'll give you the time, sir. Now, Ritesh Kothari ji from the National Head Sales and Marketing SCVPU, Tata Motors. Please.
So very good afternoon to all of you. And sir, I'll try to cover up the time, whatever extra time has been there. So I'll take just 2 or 3 minutes. I'll just take this opportunity to, appraise you about, we have heard from many of the eminent speakers about what various municipal bodies are doing in terms of circular economy. I'll just appraise you about our Tata Group's internal, what are the targets that we have taken as a group in terms of the circular economy. There are stipulated time frames that we are working upon. I'm also happy to share during the course of the presentation that what are we doing in terms of the primary waste collection for the municipal bodies. And as we speak, just as a matter of information, we are also partnering with a lot of municipalities, and today we have almost 1 million vehicles sold in this application. Yeah. So as this thought was given by our ex-chairman long back, uncommon thinkers reuse what common thinkers refuse. It's very eminent and pertaining to today's discussion. I'll skip this. What is circular economy versus a linear economy? We all know what it is, and circular economy is the need of the hour. As I said, so these are the 3 things that the Tata Group is working upon, and we call it as Project Alingana. The 3 key pillars for that is net zero, circular economy, and nature and biodiversity. So if you see here, there are stipulated targets that as a group that we have taken by 2045, how are we going to have net zero, zero waste to landfill, and also positive water for reusing in our factories. So I'm not going to get into the details of that. This is just for your information. And also what are we going and our efforts in terms of doing for nature and the biodiversity. So in terms of circular economy, these are the various targets that we have taken, and I'm happy to share in the next slide that many of our plants have already achieved the level 1 of targets that we had set for ourselves. So if you see here, in terms of the water management, so we have basically 6 plants catering for the commercial vehicles here. And if you see, our Pantnagar, Lucknow and Dharwad operations are already water positive, and the others will be achieving this status in the next 2 years, which is a matter of pride for us. And in terms of waste, our Pantnagar and Lucknow operations are also almost positive, and Dharwad will join in the next 2 years. So as a group, our chairman is very, very focused towards this circular economy and the net zero that we have all are discussing here about. I'll just quickly skip to the current topic and what are we doing in terms of the waste management, and how are we transiting into that. So the 1 million vehicle that I spoke about was actually more into the ICE, the internal combustion engine, which is primarily the diesel, and it is also, we are also measuring the tailpipe emissions that we produce from our vehicle. So it is very important that as a Tata Group, unless our zero tailpipe emissions also are reduced, we won't be able to achieve the 2045 target that we have set for ourselves. So it is very important for us as a group also to promote the green vehicles as well as CNG. And coming back to the topic of what everybody is speaking about, we are the first company who have brought all the payloads for those of you who understand the primary collection where three-wheelers were used. We have brought a smaller vehicle which has a payload capacity of 750 kgs. Then we have a 1000 kg. Then we have a 1700 kg payload, all electric. And for the secondary transportation of the garbage also, we have vehicles available right from 5 ton to almost 18 ton kind of a payload, and all electric. So I would urge all of you to please visit our stall, also understand what are the different efforts that we are doing. And I would also like to share some success stories of some municipalities who have already very proactively moved towards the EV. So in their tendering process itself, whenever any tenders are coming out, they are mandating that 30 or 40% of the vehicles that have to be used have to be electric. So it is not only they are working about the zero waste to landfill, but they are also working about the air pollution. So these are some of the municipalities that I have just listed here. I am not going to read out. Those have already taken a very positive steps in terms of having the EVs in their fleet. So I think, sir, I'll not take much of your time. As I said, I'll make up for the time that is gone. There is a small 20-second video, if you allow. I'll just play that and I end it there. Yeah.
पापा इसमें क्या है?
इसमें देश है बेटा।
कितनी हरियाली, कितनी खुशहाली, कल की कितनी तैयारी, अपनी गोद में ले जा रही है। कितना हरा भरा अपना देश अपनी गोद में ले जा रही है। ये जो अपनी गाड़ी है, इस पे भारत आगे बढ़ता है। हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, देश आगे बढ़ेगा। टाटा मोटर्स commercial vehicles, better always.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I request Monica Bahal ma'am to give her presentation.
So, thank you, my co-panelists, because a lot of thing is already said, so I will stick to something that is not. I am here representing GIZ. For those who don't know, it's the Indo-German Technical Cooperation, and we are working on behalf of our commissioning party, which is the Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development from Germany. So, sir, GIZ works with partner states and cities, and this is how we work. We have a project called Sustainable Urban Development Smart Cities, which look at key pillars of policy support, capacity development, innovation, and knowledge exchange. And when we think about the topic of solid waste and circular economy, these pillars are very relevant. We have to work at all the 4 aspects, starting from policy to capacity building to innovation and on knowledge exchange. And for knowledge exchange, I think we are here today. We are working in 6 states. One of them is Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, and Assam, and with 6 partner cities. I'll quickly go to what we have done in the cities for the benefit of the audience and also for the benefit of my co-panelist. I'll skip these slides because we all know that waste is something which is growing. But we should think back, why is it growing? Because when we are designing any product, we are not thinking about its end use. We just want to look at consumerization. So the solution is what some of my co-panelists will be already mentioned, closing the loop. Are we closing the loop for anything that we are holding, anything that we are buying from the market? I think that mindset from linear to circular economy that I think one of my fellow co-panelists just mentioned is actually the bottom line to make sure that we can have a larger end life for every product. It's not necessary that every product has to be 100% recycled, but can we reuse it in some form so that the time it takes to reach the landfill is longer and our landfills are not overwhelming our cities and our cities are not becoming dump yards. So we did a small exercise during the Hockey World Cup in Bhubaneswar, and this was a challenge thrown to GIZ that can you design an event which will have no zero waste going out? Can we make sure that entire waste that will be generated during this small event of 14 days is recycled within the premises? Thanks to some of our support partners from Government of Orissa, we were able to have a recycling unit inside, to have compost out of the organic waste. We ensured 100% segregation on the ground. I think that is important. Even if we are doing any events like this event itself, I think we have to focus on ensuring that the habits are getting inculcated into citizens to segregate waste, and then to ensure that the organizers are also connecting to the private sector. I see a lot of private sector already on the panel for extended producer responsibilities to ensure that the waste reaches. Now, today we are in the digital era where technology is solving a lot of problems. Can this problem be resolved through technological intervention? This was a question to us, and as GIZ we work with partner cities to develop digital solutions. One of the cases that we had in Manikonda, which is a peri-urban area of Hyderabad, I think a very good example for most of us who know Hyderabad, like the high-tech city where you have apartments, people do not have time, people are leaving early, coming late nights. Can we have real-time monitoring of the waste? So if you have an application where it comes to know that the waste picker is coming to your area, you will ensure that your waste is deposited. You need alerts. Let's be all human. We don't sometimes are always available 24/7 to provide the waste, and that is why we just mix it up and then we find another way to dump it. Whether environmentally we are sensitive, but technology can also help us orient towards our action. And that was the idea. Also looking at gender segregated data. It's very surprising to hear that we talk about waste a lot on a conference and very few women are involved in actually waste management. Thanks to someone like Ruby who has stepped out of her profession and taken this up. But at home, women are responsible for a lot of waste management things. They are ensuring segregation. So real-time monitoring. Now with the Citizen Buddy application in Telangana, they have a system where they can track. It's also important for the decision maker to know from which zone is the waste being collected and which zone it's not being collected to do course correction. So we really feel at GIZ that if digital solutions are intertwined with technical expertise, it can really make our life easier and find more long-term sustainable solutions. We, of course, did a participatory approach. There was also we looked at some of the open spaces and parks where we were looking at how infrastructure can be developed in parks which can be utilized and a feedback can be provided. Because usually people go to the park, they will buy something and you see a lot of garbage around, and that is a reason for non-using of that park if it becomes like a dump yard. So we have to ensure all our public spaces and assets are also taken good care of. So I think that was also one idea that we had, and thanks to CDMA, Dr. Sri Devi, she has really upscaled it to all the urban local bodies and ensuring now all the government bodies get up into the Citizen Buddy application, which they are using for all of their day-to-day things. One more example from the city of Coimbatore. Coimbatore also wanted to focus on recyclable waste. I think this is a stream which is the urban gold, so-called. You have urban waste, but you have an urban gold, which is your recyclable, which you know will fetch you faster money for sustaining. So with urban gold, I think Coimbatore develop a solution only for recyclable waste. And I think looking at the time, I will not get into details, but my colleagues from GIZ team are here in case somebody wants to understand more details on here. Also for micro-compost centers, we did such a capacity building on Tirunelveli city for looking at how composting center can be made more robust, and they are underutilized. On one side, we say we want infrastructure. On second side, our infrastructure is underutilized. It's not used to the full capacity. With the guidance of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, I think even guidebooks and SOPs have been issued. Of course, circular economy. Also, one last point to conclude my input for this session. We should not look at waste in silos. That means not only waste as a sector. Can we mix it with agriculture waste? Can we look at how waste can be intertwined with other things to make products which are useful? So I think there was a study done for biochar and which helps actually mixing the agriculture waste with solid waste. So these are some experiences of GIZ with partner states and cities. And I thank Municipalika to providing us an opportunity to walk you through with the circular economy principles.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, Kalpit ji.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kalpit Asher. I'm from Mumbai. We are architects and urban designers. I'll be mainly speaking on the topic of sanitation and architectural design for the public toilets. This started somewhere in 2017 where we felt the need that most of the public toilets are not architecturally designed and they're usually copy-pasted, blocks across the city, and they often become nuisance in some way. So we mainly wanted to work with the municipal body, and we created this toilet manifesto which looks at idea that how do we integrate public toilets at a part of urban form, how there can be contextual designs for parks, playgrounds, traffic islands, etc., which integrates toilets. That was one. And second, how do we remove stigma which is attached to the public toilets? How can they be sensitively designed and become people friendly? So I'll be very quick. I'll just take 2-3 minutes. I'll run through some of the projects which we did as pilot projects for Rajasthan, for 7 cities, Jaipur, Udaipur, Bikaner, Ajmer, etc. For Ahmedabad we are working, and for Secunderabad and Hyderabad we worked. So these are some of the typologies. The idea has always been that the building should breathe. So every building has a facade system designed which allowed breeze and everything from all the sides. There are different kind of typologies created which allows people to be part of it. So there is a gateway which is designed to a park, and it does not look like a toilet, but it integrates a toilet. There are heritage sites for which a sensitive design being created. There are mini amphitheaters and ATMs, baby feeding rooms, etc., which all have been integrated into many of these toilets. Small things like the caretakers running a nursery, so there is a nursery toilets. The design of the bus stops have been thought of where the toilets could be integrated with the bus stops, Anganwadi, children's play area. For Warangal government, we worked on a model for V toilet and a she toilet, which was a family toilet, and things like that. And these are some of the images of various types. And we also work on the city assessment and recommendations. So we recently completed for 353 sites in Ahmedabad, where there was a intense survey, GIS-based survey created, which gave all the ward officers and zonal commissioners a direction towards how we should be dealing with public toilet sites in the city. And these are some of the slides of the build projects. So this is in Jaipur, Rambagh Circle. It's a large bus stop and a public space which has been created. So this was some very interesting examples, because toilets are the sites when nobody wants to visit or be around, nor they want outside their houses. And they became like very active public spaces. So first image which you see became actually a space for youngsters to gather for protest or for hold some kind of gathering. The second slide below is in the zoo. The third circular red building integrates a tourist information cell and a traffic chowki and a public toilet, etc. And the last slide is in Udaipur, which was under the smart cities, which was built. The blue structure which you see is outside Secunderabad railway station, on the Mumbai highway. So many of these places have become active spaces for public to inhabit and use. And some of the slides which have been part of the Secunderabad. I'll just run through a small, do I have time? Just 2 minutes? Yeah. So I'll run through a small video just trying to give a glimpse of what the everyday has been like in one of the sites in Secunderabad. Can you make it full screen, please?
Being an architect and urbanist, we felt that it's time that we come out of our homes, come out of our practices, and see what role can architecture play in shaping the public realm. And that's where we started our journey.
Our mission at Urban Loo is to revolutionize the common man's experience of using public toilets. Public toilets are important landmarks of an emerging landscape of any modern city. It speaks volumes of who we are and how we perceive our city to be like.
पहले तो जो है एक कबाड़ खाना था वो पुराना, अब जो है शीश महल रख रहा है, ताजमहल जैसा वो लग रहा है.
The entire building facade is designed with local slate stone from Telangana. The stone facade allows the building to breathe at all levels and thereby removing foul smell from the toilets. It further allows natural light, ventilation, and thermal comfort throughout the day, making the building energy efficient.
ऐसे बाथरूम कहीं दूसरी जगह तो नहीं देखा मैंने.
This has been built by the GHMC, the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. The interiors are designed to give good privacy to its users and at the same time create an airy, bright, well-lit space with natural skylights.
सबसे बड़ा अच्छा बोलूं ये हवा हवा जाने का बाहर वो अच्छा लाइट है बहुत अच्छे हाइजीनिक
number of such experiments across India and they have done wonderful work. So other municipalities who are here, they can also consult them. I have also taken down your this thing, photos.
So there are a lot of physical models which we are carrying and we can show you.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Now our co-chairperson, Ravinder ji, will sum up also and he has a presentation.
Thank you, sir. And I have a very brief wrap-up presentation. In the Swachh Bharat mission, I request all the ULBs to again rededicate themselves. And we also, on the government side, we also need to have certain backstoppers. Like we need to strengthen the EPR further, as it should be in the developed countries. Firstly, the landfill mechanism has to be an economic model, not a free access, and so many other things. And I'm delighted with the toilet things also. Really, our toilets do not breathe. That is a big challenge. So, all these are some of the deliverables that we have put for ourselves in Swachh Bharat mission. We are basically a nudge mission. We are a catalyst, and the hard work is done by the urban local bodies themselves. And we appreciate a lot of work has been done, but it is a daily and continuous problem, we are aware. So looking forward to your continuous dedication and continuous efforts. We are ready to support you in every way. Roughly for the segregated waste, our mission had more than 1 lakh metric tons of capacity in the processing site. That was more than 50%, more than half of the projected figure. But now we are feeling that the projections have already increased. Our Swachh Bharat was to close in 2026, but the population growth and the urbanization has increased, and the waste, particularly after the pandemic, dry waste generation has gone up through the sky, through the roof. So here we are, and implementation is still a work in progress, very slow. Honorable Mantri ji has taken up this remediation of dump sites as a big challenge, and additional accelerator program has been brought in just in the November last year. And a lot of work is being done, but we would like to see that cities become dump site free, also dumping free. That means they process all the waste simultaneously. So in the used water also, a lot of effort is required. These cities are under the Swachh Bharat mission used water side. They are the class 2 and below towns which have never had the institutional capacity or memory of used water management. So we are facing a bigger problem there, and we hope that it will be made up. And manhole to machine hole is a big social problem. As a developing, aspiring nation, it reflects very badly that time and again there are reports that certain people, untrained and getting into the septic tanks and giving up their lives. It's a big problem, and we have so many enablers. I will just skip that. I would like to, like all of you, I request you to just, when we are talking about circularity, recycling is one of the building block. As somebody mentioned, I think Monica, urban gold. Here you see, we are generating about 1.6 lakhs every day. Dry waste, if I consider at 40%, I have 64,000 tons every day. And if I take only the recyclables, those things which go to end of life, 40% I am leaving it aside. Somebody may say it is 50%. I get it around 38,000 odd at the rate of 10 rupees. Again, maybe you dispute, but the rates are there. The other day I was in Millennium Park, I asked the waste picker how much you are getting for the bottle. He is getting 30 rupees for the PET. Of course, he has to collect more than 40 or 100 bottles. And the aggregator is getting 60 to 70 rupees per kg for the same. So there is a lot of urban gold there. This is the circularity for sustainability. Mr. Khandelwal will agree with me that for 1.6 lakh tons, if I take the Ramkey rate, that is the integrated solid waste management model at 2,000, you may say it is 2,500 today, it's okay, 32 crores per day. And I'm talking about utopia, right? If we perfectly recycle and PET goes to PET, HDP goes to HDP, like that, metal to metal, I will get 38 crores. I will be rather surplus, right? Then I can add the wet waste part also. Urban cities, if we take only the class 1 cities, we are capturing the 75% of the urban population in the country. That is more than 1 lakh population. If they all go from composting to CBG, they will generate lot of money. This is the crux of the matter, that urban waste, unless segregation and the citizen participation is there, we cannot become sustainable or circular or recycling. And every citizen needs to be educated. There again, I will say that we have had the introduction. We need to, introduce in our curriculum something like the Japanese do, and something like the Western Europe does. All these put together, I think we will be able to do really every citizen to participate in the circular economy. I thank you all, and also I thank all my presenters here. Sir has given me the opportunity. I'm very glad to once again hear Madam Ruby Makija. You are a dentist, right, Madam? I'm hearing you for the third time. And Pradeep Khandelwalji, thank you so much. You are always, the points you mentioned were Delhi can be a model for the very big mega cities. I don't say for all the things, but at least for the waste to village city, they can be a model. They have done really well. And the colonies can be zero waste. Madam Ruby Makija has given us very nice presentation. And Dheeraj sir, a lot of work has been done in MCG, and we wanted to participate in the wastewater recycling and reuse things from the very beginning. My old senior colleague Kulwan sir, we appreciate your case studies, and Bangalore has done very well, sir. Tushar sir, it may be close to you, that the Kerala, power board has installed and operating. That is one of the best. Mass to mass means weight to weight basis, they are generating more power because segregation, and they are 100% there. Ritesh ji, and the automobile sector, in the cities 2.0, we have 18 model cities for solid waste management. For their collection and transportation, every city is focusing on green, that is electric vehicles, and I am glad that you have the entire range. That was news to me. Thanks again to Monica. Thank you, sir. I again appeal to you, you can sum up, because I also became a presenter here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ravinder ji. Actually, it is in the fitness of thing that he came in the last and gave the parting shots and summed up very well, and also the government support and what is expected of all of us. It had been a wonderful session for me to learn from the panelists. If you want some quick 1 or 2 questions to the esteemed panelists, that would be welcome. And we will try to close it in another 2 minutes. So 2 questions can be asked.
Thank you. Good afternoon. This is G.K. Sharora from Inch and Vero Technologies. We are industrialists with researcher. So my question is with Khandelwal sir, with Joshi ji and Madam Sapna. Basically, when we know that a part of incinerator, other technologies are there, why not we choose good technologies in era of we are going to 2030 to remove the emission in environment? My next question is Joshi sir, why not we manage the sludge, a single gram, to convert into biochar? As madam said, biochar is most important for our soil, and we manage the sludge without any pathogens to convert into biochar. Thank you.
Close the session. He has asked 2 questions and given 2 answers also. But Khandelwal ji.
So we can continue offline anytime, and just in a small 2 lines. Thank you.
As we will improve the segregation, we will use other technologies also. I have already said the other technologies, whether it is in biomethanization, whether it is pyrolysis, whether it is gasification, these all dependent upon the type of inputs. Whereas incineration is exceptional for the input. Even if you have a mixed waste, you can do incineration. Though with segregated waste, you can do better incineration. That is the only reason.
Yeah, thank you for your question. Actually, in NMCG, we are actively pursuing this area of reuse of the sludge through various kind of mechanisms for resource recovery, like in NPK areas. And we have to also understand the nuances of sludge. As a soil conditioner, what kind of heavy metals and what kind of issues are associated with it. We should not lose sight of them also in the aspect of considering that how it has to be used as a fertilizer, as a biochar, where it can be used, and we will soon come up with some kind of guidelines in partnership with our premier institutes that we are associated and working with. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rakesh Mehrotra. I'm representing Institution of Public Health Engineers. I wanted to ask the calorific value which is considered when we are doing any waste to energy, or particularly the incineration part, because if we are getting mixed waste.
Short question. 3,500 to 4,000 something in his presentation.
No, calorific value of the waste. Calorific value.
I am just wanting to question
waste.
that, sir.
Yeah. The whatever plant we have designed in Delhi, taking the calorific value is 1,000 to 1,200.
No, you have designed, but actually what are you getting?
We are getting more than that.
Sir, actually, let me jump in. And the rules very clearly mentioned 1,500. And in all these plants, though they are taking the mixed waste, because of the NGT orders and etc., they introduce the pre-sorting. After pre-sorting, the values have gone up to something like 1,600. In general, Jaipur, Hyderabad, and Delhi, everywhere. So pre-sorting has gone up to that. But the clarity is in the rules. 1,500 is the minimum.
Can I ask a little more clarification? Percentage of moisture, just a minute, sir. Percentage of moisture generally, and are you including plastics?
Sir, it's the wording is very clear. Non-recyclable combustible. Wet waste is not coming in.
No, I'm saying
plastics.
So,
as we have prepared RDF guideline, for 1,500 this thing, we have given the moisture as maximum 15%. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank all our esteemed panelists for the wonderful insights that they gave us on such a crucial subject in India's urban development landscape today. With that, I'd now like to invite Mr. Rajiv Agrawal MD and CFO for FS Media Limited, to present the memento to the chair of the session, Mr. Tushar Girinath, IAS. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, please. Now I'd request Mr. Tushar Giri to please present the mementos to all other esteemed panelists. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for lending your ears to the session and making it more engaging and participative. I'd like to announce that we're going to have the next session at 2:15 p.m. on Housing for All. I'd request you to please join us at Stage A by 2 p.m. Thank you.